Barakim Habarim, welcome to Messianic Moment Ministries. I'm Stephen Bruck. You know who you are. And it's the 13th day of January 2022. Well, at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, as Yeshua is lifted up to heaven, he told his disciples to go and make disciples of everyone. This is known to many as the Great Commission, and Yeshua was essentially telling his Talmudim, which means students, but in this case disciples, that they should begin missionary work in order to grow the ministry that Yeshua started. It's a shame that the ministry of Yeshua eventually became perverted and is mutated into modern Christianity, which has nothing at all to do with what Yeshua taught. But that's a different message. The issue I want to talk with you about today is when we are trying to spread the good news of the Messiah to people, especially to Jews, and unquestionably run into those who refuse to accept what we say is true. When do we stop trying to convince them? When people refuse to listen to you, that's okay. I mean, if everyone became a believer, who would Yeshua have to fight against in the end days, right? Now, actually, seriously, many times people who are trying to spread the gospel will find it hard to convince some who argue, often vehemently, against Yeshua being the Messiah or that there even is a God. So what do we do when we run into a brick wall? I mean, how do we convince someone they are wrong and we are right? How do we get the truth out to those who refuse to listen? Well, the answer is we don't, we can't, and we need to know when to stop. Excuse me. While he was still alive, Yeshua sent his disciples out into the world to preach and told them to be as wise as serpents and gentle as doves. That's Matthew 10:16. But even before that little bit of advice, in Matthew 10:14, he told them when they need to stop. He said, when they're in a town that refuses to accept what they say, to leave that place and shake the dust off their sandals as a warning to those people. We learn from Yeshua that we cannot force people to accept Yeshua. As for me, when someone doesn't want to hear what I have to say about Yeshua, God, or the Bible, I'm more than happy to leave them alone. God gave us all free will to make our own decisions about how we will live, which includes what we do, what we say, and what we believe. Faith is not something we come to because of proving scientifically that God exists or that Yeshua is the Messiah. Truth be told, proof is the antithesis of faith, because faith must be a choice based on belief and not on irrefutable evidence. If you go to the Messianic Moment website and you go up in the search column and say antithesis, you will see at least 3 or 4 different messages I have posted over the years about why faith cannot be proven. Anyway, back. So, people who choose not to have faith in either God or Yeshua as the Messiah have the right to make that choice, and we are not to force or coerce them into changing their minds. Now, you may ask, if we cannot provide irrefutable evidence, which for believers is, of course, the Bible, then how do we fulfill the challenge of making disciples? We do it by being examples of what God wants us to be. And as we obey God's commandments, we will be blessed. God promises that in Deuteronomy 28. And that blessing will be evident to others. We read how people that lived around Abraham recognized God was with him by the number of blessings he received. We also see that with Isaac. In Genesis 26:28, King Abimelech made a treaty with him, and he said, we see that Adonai is with you. And when we read of Joseph, we're told that he prospered, even though he was a slave and then later a prisoner. It was because people recognized that God was with him. When we are obedient, we are with God. And God will be with us, and that will be evident to people. And when I say obedient, I mean obedient to the Torah. And when God's blessings are evident to people, well, that is for me the greatest missionary work we can perform, to be an example. Now, let's go back to what we do when we run into that brick wall. When someone argues against you, the first thing to do is ask them questions that they cannot answer, which is specifically designed to use what they say to show them their statements make no sense. Doing this takes more than just a good knowledge of the Bible. You need to know the objections people generally give you. Most objections are always going to be the same. And you have to already have questions prepared that show them the holes in their logic. You need to ask questions and not give answers, because in a discussion, the one who is asking questions is the one controlling the discussion. The questions must be in a logical order to make them realize on their own. It has to be their own realization that what they are saying doesn't make sense. And the way to do that is to have them hear themselves not know the answers which they should know if what they're saying is correct. I know what I just said sounds like a bunch of double talk, and I could give you many examples of what I mean, but I won't, because whatever ministry you have, it has to be your ministry. I'm sorry, but the way I minister to people cannot be the way you minister to people, and vice versa. You're going to have to figure it out. Remember that Yeshua told his Talmudim, which goes for us too, that when they need to say something, to trust the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, to give them what they need to say. I recommend that as the best way to go, but there's nothing wrong with having prepared questions and answers either. We should trust in God, but that doesn't mean leaving it entirely up to Him. So, here's how you know when to stop. If you find yourself getting frustrated, that's pride trying to take over. And it's your signal that it is time for you to stop. Or when the person you are talking to begins to get frustrated and maybe starts to even attack you verbally, hopefully that's as far as the attack goes, that's another signal it's time for you to stop. We should do whatever we can to help people know the truth, but we need to know when it is time to shake the dust off our sandals, and that time is when either side of the discussion goes from passionate to frustrated. Leaving someone in a state of frustrated anger because you tried to ram the truth down their throat not only damages your attempt to teach them, but makes it exponentially harder for the next person God sends to them. Well, thank you for being here, and please share these messages with everyone you know. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. On my website, there's a subscribe button in the right-hand margin, and here on YouTube is one of these icons around here somewhere is how you subscribe. So please do it here too. There are different lists. And while you're on the website, check out my books. And remember, I always welcome your comments. That's it for today. So, Lehitrot and Baruch Hashem.